Right now it is after 10 o'clock at night. And I am recording because I made a commitment to myself that I was going to make sure I recorded every single week and I posted every single week. And this week has just been like going so fast, like just going by so quickly, that the one time I actually did have to film earlier this week, I was so overloaded mentally that I just couldn't even get out any words when it was time to do it. I just couldn't. I don't know. Nothing was coming out. So yeah. So instead, I'm here right now talking, and I had a particular topic I wanted to discuss. But I feel like if I were to talk about it right now, like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. And I just think if I were to, it would come off very, like, ingenuine or whatever. So I'm going to just kind of talk about something that's on my mind. And obviously I'm very tired right now. But it's funny because I'm actually not even just tired because, like, oh, it's you know, kind of getting late at night. I'm tired because I've just been mentally exhausted this week. Like, I've just had this major mental overload, and really it comes down to the fact that we had a super busy weekend. We had just a bunch of little things that we had to do over the weekend that just added up. It was nothing like major and significant. My husband and I did finally, like, we had a night out after like forever of not doing that, but besides that, it was just a bunch of little things adding up, you know, like a bunch of, like, our lights went out or like a bunch of our light bulbs went out all at once. We had, like, some tasks that we had put off that we needed to take care of. There were some things around the house that we needed to get back to. You know, our kids were wanting to hang out with friends and, like, go places and things like that, and so we were staying busy doing that. And those were all, like, just normal things. It wasn't anything, like, majorly exhausting. But because there were so many of them that we had to, like, squeeze into one weekend, my husband and I, we literally were just, like, completely exhausted. Like, by the time the kids went to bed, we were out like a light ourselves. And then the rest of the week just kind of fought like, it fell in line with that, like, energy, I guess. Because then the rest of the week has just been, like, go, just something going on. Yeah, so basically how I'm feeling is just completely and totally mentally exhausted, and I'm okay. I know this is a time period that'll pass, and luckily I actually am now in a place where I can have these days or these weeks, and I know that maybe not today, maybe not even tomorrow, but, like, I know, you know, another good day will come around the corner, another good moment will come around the corner, whether we believe it or not. It will. It will for me, and it will for you. You just have to really believe. But last week around this time period, I was just like flying high, super energized, confident, etc. This week I'm just feeling very like I just kind of want to get in the bed and not get out for, like, days or whatever until I'm just completely recovered, I guess. Because on top of everything else, my body is also detoxing a couple of things right now. And whenever you go through a detox, so like, for instance, one of the ones I'm going through is, like, caffeine. And whenever your body goes through, like, a detox, it's just, there's so many, like, ups and downs of it, and I've gone through the ups of it so far, and I've also gone through the downs of it, and this week it's kind of like I'm feeling the, you know, the feeling of being drained because of it. But again, I know in the long run it's going to be better for me, so I'm hanging in there. But, yeah. So I don't really know, like, when you hit this point, like, sometimes it feels like it's hard to know what to do about it, because when you're feeling like this, especially, like, now, and you can see it in my face that I'm really tired right now, again, not just because it's late, but just because this is how it's been, like, the whole week. Like, I didn't even do, like, my makeup today. You know, I'm behind on doing my nails, and my hair is, like, you know, just whatever, because I just been, you know, doing other stuff, and we went to the park, and it was very windy, and but it was nice. You know, it was a nice day out. But sometimes it feels like it's hard to know what to do. And I know for a fact, you know, just sitting down and taking a break is not going to actually like take that mental burden off of you. And when I think about this, I think of those like funny videos you see on like TikTok or Instagram. You ever seen those videos where the moms are like taking some me time or they're taking a break and they're like laying in the bed or they're laying in the bathtub and they're relaxing, but they can like hear the screaming of the kids in the other room and they're just sitting there like and like, you know, it's a fixed sound, but like we all have been there, right? You know, where you're supposed to be relaxing, but then there's something chaotic going on around you and you're like, I should really attend to that, right? Like I can't relax. There's too much going on, right? And that's kind of how it feels now. Like you're sitting down, you're like, me time, relaxation, you know, I'm gonna take a bubble bath, but then it's like, whoo, chaos all around. So your mind's not really resting, okay? So that's how I'm feeling right now, is I've been making myself sit down and take breaks, but it's like not really catching myself up from the, I guess, overwhelm. So much so that like I've actually dealt with some insomnia this past week, I guess. It was hard for me to stay asleep last night, and then sometime this past weekend, I had a moment where like I woke up in the middle of the night, and I can't explain it, but like, my brain was just running at like 100 miles an hour with everything that was going on. Like, I woke up and started thinking about tasks that needed to be done, bills that need to be paid, you know, ways we can get ahead, you know, goals that need to be achieved, things I needed to do with the kids, things I need to do for the kids. And it was like running through my mind like, I don't know, like a computer, just like, you know, just going. And I did everything in my power to relax my mind so I could go back to sleep. And I wish I could tell you that there was like, you know, I did this one thing and boom, I was fine and I went back to sleep. But I'm going to be honest with you, I did every technique that I know of and it still didn't work, because I guess I just hit that level, you know. I literally, like, I got up and I listened to frequencies, I meditated, I closed my eyes and I rested, and at one point I was like, okay, I'll read a book. At another point, I got up and I even drew, like I got in my journal and just started drawing and writing. Nothing really worked. I guess like eventually I got to the point where I was at least keeping myself busy and not thinking about all the problems. But honestly, what made me finally fall asleep was literally just sheer exhaustion. Like I think a few hours passed and I was like, okay, I can't take it anymore, and I just passed out. And then of course I had to wake up early the next morning, so I was very, very sleepy. And I know for a fact, like I probably haven't caught that up yet, but you know, I'll get there. So with that being said, when it comes to like having to help like relax our minds and our brains, these are some of the things I talked about in the empath video I did, and these are, you know, again, they're very stereotypical, but it's really all you can do. And that is, I guess, just try to meditate, get in some quiet if you can, you know, and I know that's not going to work for everybody, because some people it's like the more quiet they are, the more like their brain is going to start going. And I guess in those cases, I would say listen to some like relaxing frequencies. There are so many frequencies you can find on YouTube for like every single thing you can think of. You can find a frequency for anxiety. You can find a frequency for needing to calm your mind or put yourself in a state of relaxation, helping yourself fall asleep, you know, you name it. There are sleep stories. A lot of times I go to sleep to like somebody telling me a sleep story. But the other thing, of course, is, you know, you can journal, you can pray if that's something that you do. And then, of course, evaluate the situation and see if there's anything that you really can take a step back from and like take that load off of yourself, because that's going to be very beneficial. For me, another thing that's been helping me is doing these like 10-minute power naps on YouTube. And again, they have different ones. They have like 5-minute ones, they have like 15-minute ones, 20-minute ones. 10 minutes usually is really good for me because I can't I can't sit and do it for too long, but if I do it for like, 5 minutes, it just doesn't feel like it's enough. But it's really great because you put your headphones on and they play like this low frequency that you can hear, and so you're kind of just like tuning in on that sound only. And then at the end of it, when the 10 minutes are up, you'll hear like a ding, and it kind of wakes you up. And somehow I always do end up feeling refreshed afterwards, and it makes me feel refreshed physically and mentally, so those are very helpful. So, maybe give that a try as well. And I guess just, always reminding yourself that this too shall pass. Like, right now, it's like I said before, like last week I was feeling really good and really energized and confident, and then this week I'm just kind of feeling bleh. And I think that's just always going to happen. We're always going to have these days or these weeks that are just like good, not so good, kind of got to tough it out. But the thing you just have to constantly keep your mind on is there will be a turnaround. Like the way that you're feeling this situation now, and it's different than how you were feeling last week, it's going to happen again. And no, it may not happen tomorrow, and I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I know what I can tell myself is that I will have a better day. Like it's gonna happen. It's happening, right? And honestly, that does help. It helps a lot just to be able to remind yourself of that. Yeah. So I hope that this does resonate with somebody, that even though I'm kind of just talking, I'm not necessarily like, here's what you can do about this today, and and I hope that like these tips will help you. And I probably will be back with that, but right now I just needed to get something off my chest, and I would have rather recorded this video than to record nothing at all. So, next week I'm hoping that I will be back and better, and not so mentally exhausted. But it's nice that I could even do this, because there was a time in my life where any little minor inconvenience would have just sent me downhill, just like, oh no, this is confirmation about everything else being bad, and there's no way I could have even pushed myself to talk now. And I'm aware that because I am tired, and because I am like, a little overwhelmed, that I'm probably rambling a little bit, so I'm going to cut this off soon so that I don't continue to ramble. But again, I'm just glad to be talking at all than to not be talking and miss this opportunity, or miss this week, or miss this goal I set for myself to make sure I continue doing this, because the way I'm feeling, I definitely could have just skipped this altogether. But I'm here and I'm doing it, and like I said, not so great today. Definitely will be good another time, and I definitely want to circle back to some of the topics I was wanting to get onto next week. So again, please stick around, and if anything in this video did help you, like even just having like a chit chat about it, or hearing somebody else go through it, because maybe you're going through it as well, and I don't know. I mean, who isn't going through some kind of like mental exhaust or overload right now, right? So try out some 10-minute power naps. Try out, getting into a space where you can kind of rest your brain. Oh yeah, and then the biggest thing is, it can be really easy to like hop on social media and like just sit there and scroll all day, and that is definitely the worst thing you can do when you're feeling like overwhelmed, overstimulated, mentally exhausted, etc. Not just because, oh, you're going to see other people on social media and you're going to compare yourself to them. That's not even what it is. It's literally physically looking at a screen, and that's like if you're working at a computer, if you're on your phone, if you're having to work on your phone, doesn't matter what it is, having to just like flip through screens, the noises, the sounds, the lights, it's just going to make it worse. Because I know I've had time, because I'm guilty of this, I've had times where I'm so exhausted I just tune out and like scroll mindlessly on like TikTok or something. And I always end up feeling worse afterwards. I'm like, why did you do that? You know better, So don't do that. If you must use your phone to get on YouTube or listen to some like frequency, do it. Do what you have to do, but just make sure you're limiting how much your brain is taking in, because kind of like when you've had a concussion, and you need to rest your brain, you need to do that for yourself every time you're feeling overwhelmed or overloaded. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off before I continue rambling. I hope you all have a really good night, a good day, a good rest of the week, a good weekend, and just hang in there and take care of yourself. Never neglect self-care in any way, shape, or form. And I will be back next week and we will talk about some more stuff. Okay? So, love and blessings, and I'll see you soon. Bye.